Beats Planet.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank y'all for tuning in on another edition of Voch Lombardi Live here on The Volume. It is a Monday. That means we get to break down all the football action that we had this weekend. Yo, Will Steele, let me just get my little war card ready. We ain't doing nothing. Football close, dog. Football right around. You know, it's impressive, man, because, you know, normally, and it's especially to the casual viewer, man, preseason football is supposed to be boring, you know what I mean? But I'm up here, like, we engaged in preseason football, and people coming to the show to hear what we got to say about preseason football. I don't know if it's just the energy is a little different this year, but preseason always been preseason, but it is what it is. We got a handful of topics we're going to talk about today. We're going to interact with the chat box. We're going to interact with the phones. We got some Mike McCarthy clips. We're going to get busy today. You feel me? Hit the like button on everything. Hit the sub button, all the algorithm buttons. That is our virtual currency. That lets the volume know that we're killing it. We're trying to get boats and four-wheelers and houses and all that kind of good stuff. So appreciate y'all. Follow me on my social medias, Voch Lombardi, VOCHLOMBARDI.
You are watching a master at work.
Also, pushing the Instagram a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all want to see what we're doing on Instagram, you want to see the picture of me and James Slater, you want to see me punching a heavy bag, just regular life shit, go over there. That's basically what the Instagram is. Twitter's gonna be for work, but the Instagram is gonna be like Voch's life type of deal. So go over there, check that out. And I'm being point guarded by the best in the business.
Gotta be handy with the Steele, if you know what I mean. Or you keep
Master Williams.
Everybody going down.
What's good with you, sir?
I'm good, man. Hey, you might just inspire me about Instagram. I don't do nothing on there, nothing anymore. Sure. But I might make that my personal account. You know what I mean? So thank you for that. Thank you for that.
Well, I do a lot on Instagram. I just don't post much. I just don't post much. Look, my Instagram is embarrassing. I open that joint up in public, boy. Somebody look over my shoulder. It's a wrap, sir. So just, you know.
I got you.
I'm going to clean that up.
So that aspect, I am not going to take that aspect from you. The other one.
That what spec you said? That's exactly what's on Instagram. That's exactly what's on Instagram, sir. You feel me? Oh man. Come on, guys. I'm lying. That's not on my Instagram for real. That ain't really what I'm doing on there. Come on, guys. Chill. My Instagram is all sports and people cooking food. Relax. Let's get into some work today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Cowboys were victorious over the Chargers. I don't really care about the victory necessarily, but we saw some good things from a lot of good players. I'm going to run some of these topics by Will Steele. We're going to correlate that with some Mike McCarthy clips and chat box. I'm looking directly at you. This is me looking at Will Steele. This is me looking at y'all. This is me looking at the phone. Somebody on it. We'll get to you at some point. But I would love for you all to just kind of interact with me while we're talking about some of these things. I think that is worth talking about. Now, we know that the Cowboys are America's team, Will Steele.
Indeed.
And they'll find any little reason to talk about us, right? We're on the 4-letter network. They swear that we're irrelevant. They swear that we're trash and not worth talking about, but they cannot stop talking about the Dallas Cowboys. We got a kick and punt returner now that's kind of taking over the mainstream media, Will Steele. They have talked about Kevontae Turpin, USFL MVP, former TCU Horned Frog, and now he's a Dallas Cowboy kick returner. He ain't even like a top receiver that plays kick return. He's just a regular kick and punt return. And in one game, and to be fair, last game he didn't really have the opportunity, right? There were some deep kicks that ended up in the end zone. There were some punts that went out of bounds. He had to fair catch it. So when we finally get a chance to see him returning, he's like 2 for 2 with touchdowns or something like that.
He touched the ball 3 times and had 2 touchdowns.
If that's consistent, goddammit, we going to, you feel me? If we can keep that up, I don't want to say the SB.
Well, no, say the SB word. If he touched the ball 2 out of 3 times he scored, we're gonna defeat it. Shit.
There was this one year fantasy football. I feel like Will Fuller had 13 catches for like 14 touchdowns or some crazy shit. Like every time he touched it, he caught a touchdown. If Kevontae Turpin can keep that up, my goodness. JQ, appreciate you for dropping a dub to Super Chat. Keeping it real with Voch and Will Steele. Nuance World Order for life. Appreciate you, sir. Now, Kevontae Turpin. Now, just in all seriousness, right? I kind of want to pump the brakes. It only happened once. Man. You know what I'm saying? It only happened once. It was exciting. Well, Will Steele with the cartel view. Thank you, sir. It was exciting when it happened. Don't get me mistaken, man. But I still think we need to see it happen a couple more times, man. I don't want to,
Look at this. Look at this. Voch.
No.
Hold on.
I know.
You know why this is hilarious to me? You are basically me right now. And I'm about to be you.
I'm optimism guy.
Throw all that shit out the window, fam. Turpin is what he is at that position. I mean, if you want to hold off on wide receiver, cool. But he is a dynamic, electric punt and kick returner. Period. It's fair to say, you can say that.
Will Steele, you ain't got look. Watch this fast clip. Don't leave yet. Somebody asked Mike McCarthy, "Hey man, is this safe to say that Turpin's the first team kick return, punt return?" Not Mike McCarthy said this.
I think there's a great chance that he'll be, returning kicks against Tampa Bay. So.
Let's stop fucking around here. Let's quit playing here. Yeah, 100%. He's probably gonna be the guy. And look, I love me some Tony Pollard, man. I love me some CD Lamb. And look, if y'all want to go way back in the prehistoric days, Jordan Lewis was kicking the punt returning. You know what I mean?
Diggs.
All those guys. But I watched Kevontae Turpin. Smaller than you, Will. So you are bigger than Kevontae Turpin.
Oh, they lying too. They say he's 5'9". He is not 5'9".
Nah, he's 5'7" or so. Sir, that little sucker can move. He is electric. Yeah. He is quick twitchy. Not even the team stuff, right? He was on offense, right? The one play I saw on offense, he did like a little jet sweep joint. I got to go back and watch the film. That's what I'm doing today on offense. Did the jet sweep thing. Behind the line of scrimmage, 3 yards, 2 defenders in front of him. The fucker stopped for 2 seconds, caught the outside, and got a first down, Will Steele. Turned a -2 into a +10 game. That's something. I don't know how much he's going to be used like in the regular wide receiver world or just anything like that. But if you can manufacture those things, and this is why it's important for Kellen, can you find a way to get your guys involved? I don't think that Turp is going to demand that you feed him targets or whatever. But I mean, what? So 3 targets and 2 handoffs per game, you think that's about fair for Turp on offense?
I said earlier, he's a guy that if he gets 5, I'll say targets. It's hard to say touches because that means
opportunities.
Yeah, here we go. 5 opportunities. Sure. That's fair. Listen, Voch, outside of CD Lamb at the receiver position, when it comes to like explosion and dynamic ability, you don't know what you got just quite yet. But except for Turpin. You know he explosive. He's just not a natural let me slow down because he did technically lead the league in USFL receiving yards. He was a receiver at TCU, but I mean he's not your 6'1" guy. He's a 5'6", 6'7", 150. That's an itty bitty guy. So you got to do things differently. But hell, man, get your playmakers a ball. Ain't that what we were asking for last year?
Sure. Plus something weird. He's not the typical receiver that the Cowboys like. The Cowboys love these, 6 foot plus longer guys that can run around a little bit, right? This ain't our thing at all. But I guess if you're that special in that department, you just have to make an exception, right?
Be different, man. Be different.
For sure. The media got a chance to ask Mike McCarthy his thoughts on Kevontae Turpin. They asked him about 7 questions. I pulled 3 of them. Mike McCarthy had this opening statement on Kevontae Turpin.
Well, I mean, definitely. He's such an exciting young player, and you can see it really from day one. Obviously, had very successful run there with the USFL. Really, from the first day of practice. I mean, he came in, and frankly, I was really impressed the way he picked up the receiver. The receiver playing the language. But you can see, he's dynamic in the return game. So 2 excellent big plays obviously set the tempo, and just like anything else. The reaction of his teammates. So I think anytime you have a new player come into your program that makes an impact like that, it's unique. So that was a big.
Stop the cap.
I'm not here to be excited about him picking up the language, Mike McCarthy. I care nothing about him picking up the playbook quickly. You can run a play called Turpin Run That Way. Turpin, go this way. You ain't even got to. He ain't even got to know the playbook. You can just somebody pre-snap. Semi can walk up to him and be like, "Hey man, you go boom, boom, boom," and then you do that. If that's the case, he does his. How Turpin wins has nothing to do with the route that he's running or the nuanced things or him setting someone up or, all right, Turpin, this is what we're going to do with you. We're going to run this 10-yard option route if the safety's da-da-da. No, sir. Turpin ain't doing none of that. Turpin is get this quickly and do that fast.
Yep.
That's what Turpin's job is. Put him in space and let him fly.
Turpin said speed kills. And I feel like nobody can check me because of my speed. And he is like, he said the special team stuff I can do in my sleep. And that's what it looked like on Saturday. Now, last week, I finally got an explanation to why he wasn't returning them. Because I'm like, this is strange. It's preseason. You should be returning these kicks, right? He said that he wasn't used to the speed of the NFL. He wanted to kind of see what it was like first. Think about that. It took him one game to be like, oh, so this is how fast these dudes run down here. Oh, this is
ain't shit neither.
Oh, all right. Exactly.
Y'all ain't shit neither. All right, I got you.
Cool. Touchdown. So, yeah, man, I'm excited for a little fella and see what he can do.
Skywalker still calling somebody little fella is crazy.
It's crazy.
But people this out. I ain't mean put y'all like that. My fault. I wonder though, Will, just on another level, I wonder what it's gonna be like. What does Bones have drawn up for him, right? Like, some of the type of fakes that we run, some of the things that we do. If Turpin's gonna be on the return game, I would imagine that he would have something to do with the like. Do we teach Turpin how to be punt gunner guy, or is he only just gonna be return guy? Because with that kind of speed, you can do anything. Honestly,
probably not. You probably put your corners there, the C.J. Goodwins, the Kelvin Josephs, and Nashawn Wrights, because they actually tackle for a living. Sure. Just let him just do the fast punt return, kick return things, and a few snaps on offense is how I look at it. Because you might need him. You might need him offensively a little bit here in the first 4 weeks.
Sure. I would just love to see him on the field in those punt situations or whatever, just to be a part of the, hey, we might fake this, crowd.
Okay. So
you see what I'm saying? Yeah. So, just to have him out there all the time, be like, hey, I'm just a part of the punt team.
Sure.
I'm a part of the punt unit. And then one day he running in motion behind Brian Anger running the speed option with him.
Shit. Now that you say it like that, I think that'd be a cool little package.
100%. Because look, Turpin operates in space. What more space do you have versus slower people than the punt team? I'd love to see it. Now he could probably be personal protector or something. I don't know what you could do with him because he does have to block for a little bit. But in those particular situations where we do, where there is a fake opportunity, ain't no track athletes on damn punt return team in the front line like that. That's all D linemen and linebackers. Turpin smoking now.
You might have put something in Bones' head. Bones would try some shit out.
Somebody call Bones Foster.
Bones would do it.
All right, Turpin, we gonna make you the left guard.
They go put Turpin at punter and say, "I dare you to run full speed at me."
But let me punt. That's a wrap. Let's see. We got more Mike McCarthy on Turpin, and Mike's not talking about picking up the playbook and shit like that. Here we go.
The first jet sweep we ran, you could see in practice. I mean, he's got the speed and quickness. I mean, he has a combination of both. So, and he's very, very comfortable in the return game. So, he just watching him throughout the practice, and he handles the football very, 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 very well with a lot of confidence. And I'm glad he's with us.
Love to see it, man. Love to see it. I'm glad he's with us. You're right, Mike McCarthy, because we need every advantage that we have. Look, and teams is teams, but punt return, kick return is an extension of your offense, right? And if we're a offense that's hurting, right, or we think we don't know what the offense is going to look like, but we're looking for any type of help or assistance in terms of points or in terms of field position, right? So, hey, if we can get help anywhere, hey, Turpin, help us, please. I'm excited about him. It's been a while since we've had a returner, that we could be excited about. Cowboy Nation is excited. The NFL Instagram page is talking about Kevontae Turpin, which is hilarious. So, comment section. Go ahead.
Yeah, somebody in the chat said, "Hey, man, 160 pounds ain't light." Well, he's technically 155. And let me tell you, 155 pounds was considered the lightest player in the NFL. Brandon Banks was 155 pounds. So that's light, bro. I'm just saying.
Brian Broader said that if you're going to get a little bitty dude like that, small school guy like that, he better be able to walk on water.
Fact.
That some bitch was strolling on water Saturday. You know what I'm saying? So let's see what happens. In other news, I'm looking at all of these picks that Will Steele got up here. Masterful production by Will Steele, by the way. I keep seeing it's light work. Don't worry about it, because you can do this in your sleep, huh, Will Steele? I'm seeing a lot of number 24 up there, man. Israel Mukuamu had a hell of a game, Will Steele. I watched the film yesterday. Common Sense Lab dropped a deuce in the super chat, by the way. Onside kick, Turpin just runs under the ball. Onside kick, Turpin just runs under the ball. I think you need a little more size on onside kick, because you know that's a little different. But I feel what you're saying, sir. Israel Mukuamu, right? Yeah. Making this DB conversation a lot more hard, Will Steele. He's making the DB conversation difficult. And what I liked about Israel is his versatility. We always talk about the versatile players here. And I think this is all a part of Dan Quinn's evil scheme or whatever. But Israel Mukuamu, if y'all watch the film, he played a little bit of big nickel. That's interesting, because Israel Mukuamu, his freshman year in South Carolina, because I'm draft guy first, so pardon me. His freshman year, South Carolina, he was playing free safety. I didn't think he was very good at it, but he was playing free safety. Israel Mukuamu was big as hell. Let's just say tall as hell. In his college film, he was tall as hell. He was long. He wasn't the best runner in the world. So I ain't really, feed that much into his free safety talk. Then they move him to corner. He's a cool little corner on the other side of J.C. Horn. Cool little pair, cool little combo. He gets to Dallas last year. I'm not saying we like everybody, right? But at least Voch was. I was saying, hey, this is going to be a hard cornerback room to try to break into. Right, this is going to be a weird little room for Izzy to, try to find his way in. But the Joneses, Will McClay, just kind of how they build this roster. If you get drafted, you kind of make the team, right? We'll just find something for you to do. Now, still going into this offseason, right, with another big draft full of guys on defense, we're looking at Izzy as possibly a guy that, I don't want to say written off, but he was a guy that, hey, Izzy, you're going to have to fight for your life to make this team, simply by the state of what this defensive back room is, not just cornerback room, of what this defensive back room is. Israel Mukuamu is making this very difficult when it comes down to roster cuts, because not only is he playing free safety, he's playing strong safety, he's playing corner, and he's playing big nickel. He did all those things yesterday in the game. And Will Steele, not only did he do those things, right, but when he was at box safety / big nickel / linebacker, right, he was tackling physically. He was hitting Will Steele. Then when he was at free safety, Will, did you see he had two rangy free safety like plays. One on the left sideline where he got the interception, and the other on the right sideline where he bailed out Kelvin Joseph. The big hit, right? So you're looking at Izzy plus his regular cornerback work where he's covering people, he's making plays, he's being long and lengthy. How do we continue to ignore Israel Mukuamu in this room, in this DB room? And I'm saying DB on purpose because, you can't just lock him down at corner. You just can't call him a safety. And it's interesting how we've gone from no safety to 5 safeties that we actually like on the team. But Israel Mukuamu can actually make this team off the merit of, I'm versatile enough for you to use me in multiple spots. I think that's going to mean something at the end of the day here. We know that he's a guy that Bones likes. He's one of those, everybody's not good at kicking game stuff, right? Or just, punt team, gunning, tackling
11
on
snaps yesterday. So on special
Israel Mukuamu, for sure, he played a lot. So if anything, I think it's safe to say, Will, tell me if I'm wrong, would you say that he's a lock for this team because of his versatility? Bones love him, and he can play. Well, he can play everywhere. That's versatility. But he's playing well in preseason when the lights come on. Like, do you think that he's a lock for this team, Israel Mukuamu?
A lock to us. I mean, you talk about his play, and then he's a draft pick that hasn't disappointed. So sure. I don't see how he's not. The only thing that gives me pause is that now you're carrying a 5th safety / corner. Do they go that? I don't know when the last time they did that, but I don't care. Sure. They should. That's how I look at it now. So I mean, to me, he's a lock, Voch. I don't. He's done everything you've asked of him. The only thing that gives me a little bit of pause is he played all the way to the end of the 4th, and you just. If it was somebody that was a lock and you didn't need to see any more, I think he would have kind of sat down. They did that with Turpin. They did it with Tristan, and a few others.
So on that point, though, Will, which is a fantastic point, this is what I noticed, and I did notice this on film when I was watching. Izzy played the first, I want to say quarter and a half, maybe like one drive in the second quarter, whatever, and then he sat, but then he came back in the fourth quarter. So in my mind, maybe it was just like a numbers game, maybe it was a reps game, maybe something happened to somebody, he just kind of had to play. But Izzy was kind of done until he came back in there. Now I could be wrong, but he didn't play much in the third quarter, in the first part of the fourth quarter, and just a little bit in the second. So I don't know. We'll see.
He played the most snaps of anybody on defense.
He had to, yeah.
So,
for sure.
I don't. Again, he makes the team based off of his to us his play,
Sure.
but just those weird little things, right? Like, why is Neville playing? Why is Izzy? Just those little weird things. I would love to know. Ask coach. It seems like he gives you a straight answer. So.
Sure. Do you think draft equity plays a role in who makes this team? Because if it does, it'll be a lot of unrest and politics going on up here. Mm-hmm. But you got 2 day 3 corners that are playing better than your day 2 corners. That's real life. That ain't us hyping it up. That ain't us talking shit. Deron Bland and Israel Mukuamu, Izzy. He's playing better than Kelvin Joseph and Nashawn Wright. Nashawn playing a little worse than Kelvin right now, but just back to back, these day 3 guys are playing better than your day 2 guys. Will, what do you think the result of that's going to be?
The other 2 is on the team, and then the other 2 is all my life I had to fight. You know what I mean?
They fight for their life.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. I was talking about this earlier. If it was, hey man, in order to get Izzy on this team, got to sacrifice one of those other 2 day 2 picks. Nashawn might have to go and walk the plank, man.
Looking like Nashawn.
Might have to walk the plank.
It's looking like Nashawn, man. Here's Mike McCarthy on Israel Mukuamu and the game that he played.
I'm so proud of Israel and just to watch his throughout the offseason. I mean, there's the early workouts, the 4 days a week, being there with his teammates.
And he working hard, shit.
Then he'd come back for a second session in the afternoon. So, and he just has made a huge.
He ain't at the club.
One of your teams. So he's so happy to see him have the success.
Don't.
I thought he was, he had some really obviously very impactful plays today, and he's just getting better each and every opportunity.
Put me on mute, Winston. Put me on mute.
Hold on. Okay, you muted. Hey, he catching interceptions. You back.
Bro, it's like it's something about these dudes that make the coaches just light up. When they talk about Deron Bland, when they talk about Izzy, when they talk about Marquise Bell, they light up. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Because they young dudes doing what they supposed to do. They young dudes operating like veterans.
Mm.
And that's all I'm going to say on that, man. Hell yeah, Izzy making this team.
Right.
He got to make this team.
You know what else, bro? And I'm going to talk about this tomorrow, but when you go look at the depth chart, I think we said this before. Doesn't it feel like Izzy's your only true backup free? Like, mm-hmm. I know Dono can play free, has played free. Some could argue he's your free, but he plays more like a strong. Coyles are strong. Bells are strong. Curses are strong. We got a lot of strong, right?
Sure.
Izzy is really your only true backup free. So, that helps him as well. But he's versatile. He did a lot yesterday, and I am proud of his growth too because the physicality was not there last year. Go watch the Arizona game, and it wasn't the same when he was coming down trying to make a tackle. But he is so much more confident. And I can say that about a few other young second-year players.
So I wonder, is that Dan Quinn? Is that Al Harris? Is that just year 2? Is that peanut butter? Because in South Carolina, he was soft also. He was soft in Alabama. Carolina. He was soft. Then he was soft year 1. And you watch the film from last night. Watch all camp. Watch the film from last week. He coming down and he's coaching, Will.
Yeah,
coaching.
Everything you just said, put it all in the pot, stir it together, and this is what you get when a player puts it, puts the work in to be better. That's what you get.
Not just out here. All right. Cowboy 5 Rings dropped the dime in the super chat. Appreciate you, sir. And somebody else, Brandon Vegas dropped a dime in the super chat. Says, I think the Cowboys can keep 27 defensive players on the 53, build it like a 3-4-6 interior D lineman, 5 edge, 5 linebackers, 6 corners, 5 safety. CJ and Carlos can Yeah. Brandon Vegas, super chat. CJ and Carlos can go to the practice squad because they don't go through waivers. We'll see what happens. We'll be getting a lot of that news over the next 2 weeks or so. So I'm not ready to talk about who's getting team building right now because it's still early. Like we still got dudes on the team that ain't gonna play football in the league ever. You know what I'm saying? So once we get close to the time, when we get to that last cut, then maybe we can start to break down what's really going on. But I honestly feel like Izzy's a guy that and listen, we're not just here to hand out awards just because you're working hard. You know what I mean? Like you really got to like play to earn your spot, and Izzy's playing to earn this spot. And this DB room will still Trey Diggs, so Anthony Brown, Jordan Lewis. We ain't talking about Kelvin Joseph and Nate Sean right now. But J-Ron Curse, Malik Hooker, Deron Bland. Yo, bro, that's guys. That's guys. Curse, Bell.
What I love about it is I think you have two cornerstone stud type. I say cornerstone, but I'm gonna say it. Cornerstone type stud guys in Diggs and Curse, right? On two different levels. Yes. And Hooker could potentially, but we'll see. But the rest of these guys don't have to be those dudes. Right? They got enough talent to where they can kind of just feed off of the energy of the rest of these dudes. We don't need AB to be like an all-pro Pro Bowler. We don't need Hooker to do that. We don't need Donovan and the rest of these guys and so forth. If you didn't have those guys, I think you'd be asking a lot for some of these role players. But you got the two cornerstones and you got quality veterans in the – I know people don't want to hear it, but Anthony Brown's a quality veteran, Jordan Lewis, and then young guys that's snipping at their heels and Deron Bland.
Speaking of young guys snipping at their heels, Segway Jones, they asked Mike McCarthy, so you're playing a lot of young guys in the preseason games, and they're playing a lot. So what does that do for the evaluation when it comes down to cut down day? And Mike McCarthy had this to say.
We're not looking forward to it. We know it's going to be very difficult, and it's going to be extremely competitive. I mean, that's what you want on your football team, and we felt that way when we put the 80-man roster together. So, but yes, we set over 25 plus players tonight, and it gave our young guy, and that's where we're just trying to get these young guys as many reps as possible because this is what draft and develop looks like. So, this is our process.
This is what draft and develop looks like. I thought that was an interesting comment to kind of end on. That's what draft and develop looks like.
He's been saying that a lot this offseason.
Sure. And one could look at that and be like, well, is this why we're not going to get, free agent help? Is this why we're not going to go look for other guys because we're drafting and developing so well? I don't think we got to go find help from the outside to, find like guys on defense or whatever. Like some of our young linebackers, our young DBs, our young D linemen, the offense is a whole different conversation. But at least the young guys on defense this could be because our defensive coaches have earned our trust, and maybe not these offensive coaches, Philbin, Kellen, Nussmeier, etc. Maybe you don't have to, like, maybe you feel more comfortable moving on from a guy like Randy Gregory because you feel like, all right, so we can spend $38 on Fowler and raise Sam Williams up. You see what I'm saying? Because we have faith in our coaches that when it's time for Sam to play, Sam will be on that level, close to or maybe better. I don't know, depending on how he looks in the run game moving forward in his life. Sam's playing great, by the way. You know what I'm saying? For his young manness right now. But just imagine what Sam's going to look like in year 2, year 3. And you kind of have these bridge guys like these Bashams, these Fowlers. I would even consider Dorrance to be relatively a bridge guy. Dorrance ain't special, but Dorrance did play well. Dorrance earned his money. Dorrance is like reliable or whatever. But he's one of those veteran floor guys that you kind of talked about earlier, Will Steele. Maybe there's something to we're going to bring in these young guys and let them dudes take over. Because look, J-Ron Curse got his money this year. How many more times are we going to re-sign J-Ron Curse if we feel great about Marquise Bell?
He really got money. I mean, 2-year deal. So it ain't like he's going to be here forever. Unless
J-Ron Curse, one of them $38 a year guys. You see what I'm saying? Carlos Watkins was a bridge guy. Let's take Bohanna, develop him, and hey, maybe next year Bo will be on par or even better to what Carlos Watkins is. So draft and develop is a real thing. But Will Steele, to everybody's point here, to Cowboys Nation's point, and I know to your point too, because you think this way, if we're going to be draft and develop team, we need to find some offensive coaches that we have the same level of confidence in than we do as these coaches on defense or whatever, right? So if that's going to be the case, we'll see. We'll see what happens, man. We just got the wide receiver coach this year, so we'll see what he does with these young guys like Simi or like Dennis Houston. If those dudes can emerge over the course of the season, maybe next year after a little bit more off-season peanut butter and things like that, then maybe we'll be on to something. But draft and develop so far, good to me, man. Did you have anything on that before we moved on?
No, I just think it's their philosophy.
Sure.
You know, he came out after the Brandon Carr deal and said, I want to spend money on free agents. So this is their philosophy. They're 100% in on the philosophy. It hasn't worked yet, but you know, at least they're sticking to their gun. So we'll see.
Sure. I asked you yesterday. We was on the round table. Shouts out to the round table, by the way. We did well. Had a good show. I was asking you guys, do you think at any point during the year, if three guys, Jake Ferguson, Peyton Hendershot, Sean McEwen, if those dudes play well enough to gain your confidence in the future or whatnot, would you spend that 16 M's on Dalton Schultz? Now, of course, it depends on how well Dalton plays. It depends on Dak, vouching for him and things of that nature. But if you ask Voch, if you're just asking Voch, Jake Ferguson looks like a dude he's gonna be on the field for you. Sean McEwen, Peyton Hendershot. Peyton may be on the non-active game day roster, but definitely Sean McEwen and Jake Ferguson. If those dudes end up being dudes that can play for you, hey, this is still, saving money. This is roster management. I think you can save you 16 M's in that not paying Dalton Schultz situation. Because Dalton Schultz can be productive. Dak can love him. He can be fine. He can be a Pro Bowl, whatever guy. He ain't George Kittle. He ain't Travis Kelce. Let's just keep it a buck here. Keep it a bean, like they say over there, where Will is from. Here's Mike McCarthy talking about Jake Ferguson.
Instinct. He's such an instinctive, tough football player, and that's what we, just really liked about him coming from Wisconsin, and he hasn't disappointed. You can see right there, he's scrappy. He's on the edge. He's chippy and all those things, but I mean, the young man can play. He's been very productive. Not only just in at tight end position, but also on special teams.
Interesting, and special teams, because look, y'all can talk about Turpin getting his touchdowns on kick return. That was sealed by two good tight end blocks. You know what I mean? So let's just also be aware that the tight ends have a big role in the kicking game there. The Cowboys definitely have a type when it comes to these tight ends and whatnot. Will Steele is a master at work. When these tight ends, man, they definitely have a type. Dalton Schultz was a guy like this. Ferguson, Hendershot, they're guys that were blockers, but they developed them into pass catchers, right? So when you watch Jake Ferguson film in Wisconsin, you look at Jake Ferguson and you go, all right, he's a blocker. Maybe when he comes to Dallas, he's a blocker. When you watch Jake Ferguson in these last two preseason games, he looks like a natural offensive dude, like a natural yard getter, especially on this play that you're showing right here. Yeah. Just a little bit of Yak Ferguson. Yak Ferguson, for one play at least, I don't want to overreact. Vibranium, shouts out to King Element. Yak Ferguson looks like probably developed a little bit of yak between Wisconsin and Cowboys camp. Go ahead, Will.
I actually liked his receiving tape coming out of college.
He only had 15 catches, but I feel of those 15 or so catches, you can see that he had that in him. The hands and the yak stuff.
He had more than that. But I think somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to say he was like top 2, might have been number 1 all time, and tight ends, receptions or yards or touchdowns. One of the 3, if not all 3, but he's top 2 or 3 or 4 or something like that in history of Indiana. So or not Indiana, Wisconsin. So sure. I liked it. I think he had, put it this way, his production coming out of college was more than Dalton Schultz coming out of college. So it was enough tape there, but because he played in Big Ten. Right, Big Ten football, he ain't spreading it around. He ain't getting no 800-900 yards every year. It's more like 400 yards, 4 touchdowns, something like that. It wasn't as much as the what's the cat from Colorado, McBride. It wasn't as much as the UVA guy and all those other dudes. But yeah, man, I think he's a prototypical Dallas Cowboys tight end, and I don't need to pay Dalton. I don't need to pay Dalton $16 million next year. With that said, Dalton gonna come out here and have 100 catches, 8 touchdowns, and 1,000 yards. Just get ready for it.
Dalton Schultz is your wide receiver 2 right now. That's fair. Yeah. But I just do feel like, that if we can win that game of leverage, of contract negotiation leverage, Dalton Schultz can say his thing. We look at Jake Ferguson and go, hey man, Jake look ready. Jake looked ready, you know what I mean? So so if so let me ask you this. Well, if Jake continues to look ready and Dalton Schultz takes a discount, would you then hold on to Dalton Schultz, or would it just be a hey, I'm gonna move on regardless and just continue my life with Jake Ferguson and Hendershot?
I'm gonna be real. If you were his people, would you say I'm gonna take a discount? Anything less than 13
never
million?
take a discount. Go to the damn Jacksonville Jaguars and get your 17 mil.
Or tag me and give me the 13 million. A discount to me would be, around the same price, $10 million. Well, shoot, that's a super discount, and that'd be stupid because I can make 13 million with you by tagging me, or I can go make 14, 15, 16 with the Jets. I'm just throwing out a team, but it's not going to happen.
We can skip over this one because I want to come back to that because that was a very interesting observation. Let's stay on the offensive side of the ball. Will, Steele, you touched on the run game. This week today, you dropped a film session on Rico Dowdle and Malik Malik Davis. Thank you, sir. And them dudes was running like they was trying to get a job, wasn't it?
Listen, like it was a real starting spot open. I love it though. I love to see that.
100%. They were running physical, and the offensive line, except for Josh Ball, they looked great. They looked physical. Will still, I was so impressed with the offensive line, except Josh Ball. Like they were just moving people, bro. They was good. And they were picking up stunts. They were I was so. And look, this could be a maybe a sign of things to come or whatever. But Connor McGovern looks good at right guard. Tyler Williams, when in doubt, run behind 73.
Tyler
Smith,
gotcha.
Pardon me.
I got
What I say, Tyler Williams?
Yeah.
Who is Tyler Williams?
Connor Williams.
My bad. Fusion dance. My bad. Fournier made this a thing.
Can we talk about him, please?
Let's talk about Fournier. We ain't doing nothing else. Go ahead.
Voch, I was about to make you real proud. I don't do film sessions.
You bet I was gonna drop offensive line.
Boy, I almost did. I'll do a drive, I'll do a plays, I'll drop highlights. But man, Fournier I keep on doing this. Matt Fournier makes me want to actually just study him even harder. I mean, he is impressive because he can play all three spots. And this ain't me just talking. Remember a few months ago, we was like, yeah, Tyler Biadasz is out there with Duke. Terrence is out there with Duke. Tyler Smith is out there with Duke.
Yeah, man.
The one dude that went under the radar was Matt Fournier. He was with Duke. And Duke dropped a tweet today and was like, yeah, he's been impressive in the preseason and he's been working at yada, 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 and basically endorsed him. So my question then became, I know you hate to move on from guys, but because Fournier can do three different things, do you pick up the phone and see if you can get something for McGovern? And I've asked the chat this as well.
In this situation, I'll be with it. Simply because you have a guy in Fournier that you feel great about. You know what I mean? So this isn't a situation of, hey, we're just hurting ourselves with a guy that, like, we just talking about swing guys, right? And to be fair, Connor McGovern only looks good at right guard.
Right.
Fournier's been physical everywhere, right? So if he can be that Joe Looney guy, y'all know how sick I was of Joe Looney. If he could be a physical Joe Looney guy for you, I'm with it. Now, you know what I might do? I may do an offensive line film session. We ain't doing nothing else, man. We'll just drop an O-line film session day breaking down. Because look, the O-line played great, except Josh Ball. They played great. So,
Oscar in the chat. Mike McCarthy, Josh Ball, draft and develop.
Bye. Great comment. But at the end of the day, the run game gets physical when Fournier, Tyler, and little Connor, the big Connor now, and Connor at the right. It looked a little more physical, man, on top of the physical play for your running backs, right? So this is what Mike McCarthy had to say about the run game in general and how fantastic the run game was and how physical it was without Josh Ball.
I mean, the one thing I look for, all the time is the apex of the line of scrimmage. And I thought 2 weeks in a row, I thought our line throughout, and even our young guys were doing a good job, running off the ball, creating an apex, consistently for the backs. Tyler did some really nice things. I mean, he's so powerful.
Even Terrence,
he's a powerful young man.
Josh Ball.
And
he gas, boy.
we accomplished what we wanted to accomplish. We wanted those young linemen to get a ton of reps tonight, and we were able to get that done. I thought they did a nice job.
Mike McCarthy wanted to set the tone with physicality in the run game these last 2 weeks, and I think he has done that. Now, Will, when we talk about the running back position, I'm trying to save space to get as many D linemen and O linemen on this field as possible, right? So if we go by your rule and we move on from Connor McGovern because we got a guy in Mac Forniak that can play many of the interior positions, what about running back? How many running backs do we carry? Because in my mind, I just wanted to carry 2 and move on my life.
Oh, really?
And I also thought that we was gonna do like normal, right? Like 3 running backs and one kind of one designated fullback guy, which would be Ryan Nall, but he going to the injury
IR. Yeah, he's on
IR listing or whatever. So I don't think Ryan Nall is going to be a guy that's in consideration. So do you still carry 4 running backs? With that being Zeke, Tony Pollard, of course, Malik and Rico.
I personally didn't think they were going to carry Ryan Nall.
Sure.
I mean, what evidence do we have of old boy using a fullback?
Sure.
So, I mean, it's been a waste of a roster spot, in my opinion. But I think 3, I don't really see them carrying 4. I think you got your Zeke, Tony Pollard, and then your utility guy that plays special teams. And in case one of those guys gets hurt, he can step in like Corey Clement. So that would be either Rico Dowdle or Malik Davis. So I'm going to go with 3.
Currently on this running back roster, Tony Pollard, Ezekiel Elliott, Rico Dowdle, Aaron. Say it. Mimosas, orange juice, and champagne. Malik Davis and Ryan Nall is going bye-bye. So that's really all the running backs you got. It ain't really a big conversation this year. I don't think I don't think he's going to be a guy that's going to be around for sure. So honestly, your 4 running backs, they right there. It just all depends on if you're carrying 4 running backs. And I think they both earned it. Now, Will Steele, let me ask you this. We see the style of running between Rico Dowdle and Malik Davis next year, because I don't think Zeke coming back. I think there's much more of a chance that Tony comes back than Zeke. I've actually heard Stephen Jones say, "Hey man, we would love to have Tony back." He didn't say shit about Zeke.
No, he said, "Well, we know Zeke getting paid though."
We know Zeke. Zeke. Zeke burned a hole in my pocket. We'd love to have Tony back. Is Tony Pollard, Rico Dowdle, and Malik Davis a realistic running back trio for you next year?
Man, I done fully came over to the dark side of running back. Bro, draft me. Hey, listen, Voch, if you got skill,
basically, fuck them.
I feel you, Will.
Not quite. But if you got some type of skill, I don't need you to necessarily be special. If I have a scheme or a line or a cue or weapons, I can utilize you, man. And it's just up and down the league, you just see running backs that aren't Ezekiel Elliott types being extremely productive in this league. So just draft one, or if Malik Davis turns into something, or, sure, let's roll. Tony Pollard's going to be cheap, sure, let's roll. But if they don't bring back Zeke, is what we're talking about, right? Because I know we're joking, but Zeke may be back next year. So,
do you think that that's because of branding or something, or superstar draw or something why pay Zeke again? If Zeke come back for $38, then fine, we can do that. But Zeke coming back, it'll have to be some type of money.
Yeah, I don't mean to go super into off season, because we did this in the off season, right? And we're already here. He's here. There's no need. Sure. I think they're going to come to him with the DeMarcus Lawrence, right? Listen, take a pay cut. We'd love to have you back. We do love you, right?
Yeah.
We don't love you for $16 million against our cap if he looks like when I say look, I mean he's getting dinged up again, he's being injured and whatnot. Here's the thing though, Voch, if he stays healthy and Zeke gets you $1,400 this year, how you go to him and say take a pay cut?
I'll let you. I'll let you. Derek Smalls in the chat box dropped 5 in the super chat, says, "Except Josh Ball." Appreciate you, sir. And
can we get on touch on that real quick? I know we joking about Josh Ball, but in the run game, I was texting Voch. I was like, man, this Josh Ball, man, getting tossed around.
It's because he's lunging, and in my mind,
he's
when
not
offensive line, when offensive linemen lunge, they don't have confidence in their power. They're trying to You don't see Tyler Smith lunge too much because he can smoke the shit out of people with just with just an arm stroke, So he's lunging because he's not confident in himself right now. And look, getting whooped last week could snowball effect into this week, which is why he's probably lunging. Go ahead.
I'm just really frustrated with how they handle this.
Sure.
Because at this point, I think it would have been wise to see somebody else over there just before you get into the season. And the only
sorry to cut you off.
Yeah,
the fucking Bills just traded Cody Ford for a 5th.
Yeah. And the only other person that you have, and this is not a knock to Avante Collins, because Avante Collins it looks more comfortable and better at right tackle than Josh Ball does at left. And Avante Collins is 29. He's been in the league. That makes sense, right? I mean, go look at how Avante sets and how Avante plays. If I'm even saying his name wrong, I'm sorry.
Sure.
Go look at how Terrence sets and how Terrence plays. These guys are more confident. Go look at how Josh sets and how Josh plays. The confidence isn't there. And he's young. I get it. And I'm not saying that they got to kick him off the bridge, right? What I'm saying is, why isn't there a veteran in here for insurance purposes? They did the same thing with Terrence Steele in 2020 and in 2021. Let's not forget. They said, okay, there's something there with Terrence, even though he was terrible for most of 2020, but they still said, we're going to bring in Ty Suki. You know what I mean? We don't got a Suki on the team, fam. Where's our Suki?
I'll tell you what. Instagram. All right, so hey, we got two more sound clips to go through. If y'all want to get on the phones, get on them now. Because when we lock them, they're gonna be locked. Let's see. 2 interesting clips. I'll save this one for later because I really think Mike McCarthy was lying to us when he said this. But clip number 8, he was talking about Tristan Hill. Mike McCarthy had something to say. They asked, hey, Mike McCarthy, what you think about Tristan Hill and how he's doing in the game that he's having in the offseason camp, all that. Mike McCarthy had this said about Tristan Hill.
Yeah, he's having a great camp. I'm another guy I'm excited about. I think anytime you come off of a major injury, the fight back, and sometimes it takes you into that second year to get it right. And he's been playing very well.
He has been playing very well, hasn't he, Mike McCarthy? Tristan, he's like your 8th guy, Will Steele, maybe 9th.
You hear the tone in that? I don't like that tone.
Well,
let's go back. We ain't doing shit else. What was that, number 8? Here we go.
Sad. He sounds listen.
Another guy I'm excited about. I think anytime you come off of a major injury, the fight back, and sometimes it takes you into that second year to get it right. And he's been playing very well.
Time out, Will. Let me see something.
I'm so proud of Israel, and just to watch his throughout the
Brian
offseason.
Windhurst.
There's the early workouts, the 4 days a week, being there with his teammates in the morning. But yeah, he's having a great camp. I'm another guy I'm excited about. I think anytime
you want something, Will, say what's going on with Mike McCarthy and Tristan Hill?
I had to pull a Windhurst real quick.
Sure.
I just think it's interesting.
Right.
Next thing you know, Rudy Gobert is traded. Did he sound kind of sad?
Yeah.
Oh, huh. I just think it's interesting is all.
So is Tristan Hill like a Dan Quinn guy and Mike McCarthy just kind of dealing with it?
No. I think there's Tristan has had a really good camp, really good preseason. But what I'm getting at is, do they got him on a block? Are they picking up the calls? Are they? You know what I'm saying? Because he sounds a little dejected, like, yeah, they trying to get rid of this mother. But I'm real excited for Tristan Hill.
Oh man, he's fantastic. He gonna make the team and make the Pro Bowl. Come get him.
Just pulling a Windhurst real quick. Putting on my. That's all I'm saying. I did text you about that, right? Well, like, why is so and so out there? What's going on here? A little weird, but that's all.
That's an interesting development, Mr. Wolf. I would love to hear more from that. What do you think Tristan Hill's trade value is right now, right this second?
If it ain't netting me a quality swing, I ain't doing it.
Yeah, just hold on.
I don't give a damn about it. At this point, bro, if it ain't the first or second round pick, I can care less. I'm trying to win. Yeah.
And Tristan is more valuable with you than the 5th round pick that you might get back from. So.
Right. I'm with you.
That's interesting, Will. Still, I ain't think about that. But yeah, Tristan Hill.
I didn't notice it until you're playing it. I'm like, wait a minute. The demeanor just seemed off compared to the other clips.
Sure, fair enough. Hey, had a good camp, good practices, good. That's interesting. Well, I can't get it out of my mind.
I couldn't get it out of mine when he was talking. It just didn't sound confident. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, we'll definitely revisit that over the next couple of weeks. Roster cuts are going to happen, and so it's going to be a lot of news between now and September 11th. So we'll definitely keep eyes on that. One last clip that I have for y'all today. It's your boy Landlord from Alabama. Drop 5 the super chat. He said, "Sup Voch and Sky 306 Mafia. Rumpf put ball on his rump too many times. 100% Chris Rumpf. Chris Rumpf was He was in a blue jersey, Kentucky guy, I believe. Yeah, Chris Rumpf. Yeah, he was smoking shot at Josh. But Josh had lost confidence at that point, man. So it wasn't nothing that Josh could do. But hey, let's just hope Tyron stays healthy. And look, this is the worst time for Waletzko to get hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because if Josh is terrible, but Waletzko was simply competent, this wouldn't even be a conversation. We wouldn't be talking about this in this type of tone. But Waletzko's gone, and he's kind of all we got. So, do you think at any point we maybe look at Tyler Smith as a left tackle guy if anything happens to Tyron?
I think Brian. I just think it's interesting.
That's a great meme.
I love it. I think Brian Broaddus said that, right? Didn't he say, swing him on out there to left tackle right now? Bro, I mean, isn't that your best bet? Who's confident? I don't care how much you are for Josh Ball. You're telling me you're watching this right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you're saying if Tyron goes down and you need him for 4 or 5 games, you're confident in that man protecting your $160 million franchise quarterback's blind spot? Stop the cap.
Hold on. Oh goddamn. What you say?
Stop the cap.
Stop the cap, man. Stop the cap. And I don't even want to see Bull over there. I don't.
Bull?
Tyler Smith.
Tyler Smith. Okay, I got you. That was some PA joint. My bad. PA joint. We got one last one, man. Interesting. And I love to get on the media about them asking bad questions, but when they ask good questions, I love to give them their props. They said, Mike, you in the middle of a kicking competition. We need to see as many kicks as we possibly can. What you going for 2 for? I was like, that's a great question. This is what Mike McCarthy had to say.
The reason for going for 2 point, that was a decision that I made was really for Cooper Rush. He's
stop the cap.
He was on a pitch count tonight, so that's something I wanted to make sure he got an opportunity at, but obviously very cognizant of the kicking opportunities. That's really, fast forward to the fourth quarter. I mean, that's why I ran it on a third. We ran on 3rd and 5, and I wanted to give our guys an opportunity at the long field goal.
Can you talk about the night Will Greer had about this?
Well, still, you think Cooper Rush was the reason why we didn't engage in kicking competition?
I like the answer because we all were thinking it, right? Like, what are you doing? And if I'm not mistaken, I think that was his last rep. Yep. So that's fair. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to get these guys all the reps you can if it's really a battle. But if it's a battle, Will Greer, he looked good.
This is what Cowboy Nation has been calling for. I've been on a social media machine. I tweeted out about it, and other people are kind of thinking of the same line of thought. If the kicking competition gets bad, Will, do we just go for 2? Do we just always kind of go for 2? And it's interesting, Will, because look, I said this on the roundtable yesterday, right? Kicking a field goal used to be the conservative option, and going for 2 would be considered aggressive. In this particular situation, rolling the dice in the bathroom is more adjacent to kicking. Like, I feel better about our offense going for like a 2-yard play than us kicking a 30-something yard field goal with Hallelujah or Maher. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I hear what you're saying, but
Sure.
but we do need a kicker. Like, regardless if it's kicking an extra point or not, like, you need a kicker in this league. We just saw a Super Bowl participant get there in part because of their kicker. So I believe him. I think he was telling the truth and trying to get an extra rep because it was a pass. And if you go further, I think he elaborated more on it at the end of the game. It was a 3rd and 5 situation, instead of throwing for a first down, they decided to run a basic run and it didn't convert. But he said, I did that so that we can get our kickers work. So I'm going to be real with you. I kind of like how McCarthy is operating in this offseason. He sees Denver and he sees LA and he says, with the joint practices, I'm going to get my ones a ton of work. And then in
number of
games,
reps was a huge emphasis this year.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. And then in the games, I'm going to get these young bucks work, right? And then I like how he talked about how, okay, I'm gonna run it here. If we don't get it, boom, this is a great opportunity for our kickers. And in this case, it's a great opportunity to see Cooper Rush get an extra rep. So I ain't mad at McCarthy for that.
Sure, good answer, Will. Y'all got until I read this super chat before I lock the phones. 1906 executive dropped a dub in the super chat, says pick up Eric Fisher in free agency, buy ball.
The conference has been locked.
I think the problem with signing some of these, I would call them bigger name swing tackle options, is I think, and I don't know for sure because this seems like an emergency or some shit that we should have been done. But I think if you bring in some of those dudes, they would want to start, or they would want like money to start, you know what I'm saying? Or like money adjacent to it. Like what we're looking for is all right, Ty Nsekhe, Cam Irvin, Cam Fleming, you're going to make it $38 a year. You're going to sit down until Tyron Smith gets hurt. I think with Eric Fisher, even guy like Jason Peterson got like 2 years, 11 mil or something like that. I think those dudes want to play and they want to make
that's a good point.
Relative cool money or whatever. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead, Will.
That's a good point. I mean, that's fair. Yeah. I think that the time to get the guys that you're speaking of was well before August 22nd. Sure. And the name I always bring up is Dennis Kelly. I thought he'd have been a fantastic grab, but I blame Terrence. I blame my cousin Steele for this. The draft and develop thing, right? Like Terrence Steele in year 2 he came through for them, and they said, it works. We don't got to go get the Cam Irvings, the Cam Flemings, the Byron Bells, the Titans Suzuki's, and all these guys, right? We don't got to do that. It worked with Terrence. It worked with Terrence, but it worked with some downfall to it that kind of cost you a lot in 2020. So if they're willing to go through the pitfalls with Josh Ball, then sure. But if you're trying to win a Super Bowl, I think I would have rather have had 2 tackles, right? Not just you got 1 right now, swing tackle.
Let me just say this. We got 1,000 live viewers on a Monday.
Preseason.
In preseason. We on our way, Will Steele. We are on our way. And Aaron.
Go ahead. But then I'll tell you why we on our way.
Aaron from the 561 dropped a deuce and says, can you do a sack school on Hassan Reddick?
Tell him.
I don't want to tell him.
He must be new.
He should be better than this. Aaron been here since April.
Oh, come on, Aaron.
He should be better than this. Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Central. You never know what's going to happen. Aaron, where you been, sir? There's a Hassan Reddick film session, sack school, sitting right on the volumes library. It's right there. It's right there.
By the way, I'm not a moderator, so mods. Apparently, there's a bunch of bots in here, so y'all get on y'all job.
Somebody need to get shot. But shit. And then look, Alex, the Eagles fans, I need Jurgen's film session for the first 2 preseason games first.
Don't do it.
Alex is the Eagles fan. Look, I even considered the Hassan Reddick film session because I know Alex would be watching. And his funky ass don't even know that we dropped the Eagles film session on this channel already. I try to put our differences aside for a second. And this how they do me, Will Steele. I try to do the right thing for the All 32 film. Once in my life, I try not to be trifling. And this what y'all do.
To me, bro, that sound like Hill Voch.
This is what y'all do. This is what y'all do. It'll never be another one. You'll never. You're gonna learn today. All right, go ahead, cut it off before we get out.
Hold up. Did you just do the selfie? Did you just pull an Austin theory?
Yeah,
I like it.
I like it.
You know what I'm saying? I like it.
Heel Voch. Come on, man.
See, they call me, they hashtag Angry Sky. We're going to have to get a hashtag Heel Voch.
Not heel Voch, man.
Yes.
I'm normally the good guy, bro. I'm normally trying to be diplomatic. Like, I'm going to do this for the Eagles fans, man. Here's Hassan Reddick.
Hey, but sometimes you just got to, go to the Piper Pit. Was it the Piper Pit or was it Brutus's Barbershop when it was Brutus's Barbershop. Shawn Michaels, Marty Jannetty. Sometimes you got to.
It was Bruce's Barbershop.
Yeah.
Alex said, is it on the Voch or the Volume channel? I wouldn't dare put no Eagles fan on the Voch channel. It's on the Volume, man. Go over there and check it out, sir. We got 3 calls. It is 4:10, so let's get through them quickly. All right, we're gonna bring y'all in, and look, we kind of learned this about the phones too. Try not to make every point. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes we'll just go to the first caller. Yo, Voch, you see Turpin? Damn, look at Izzy. Damn, look at Bland. Damn, look at Osa. Damn, look at bro. Give somebody else something to talk about, right? So just like new rules, because we are on a bigger platform. We're on Colin Cowherd's network. So what I kind of want to do is make the show a little more clean. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So back in the old day, we used to get on the phones and ramble a little bit, right? I love y'all, and I don't want y'all to go nowhere. But let's try to keep these calls clean, please. Because look, y'all ain't going nowhere. Y'all are a part of this show just as much as I am. So we're going to get y'all in here, make your points, maybe make a second one. We doing fine. We're going to get y'all in and out. We got 3 callers here. We're going to go Dan up first, JR on deck, and we got a number that we don't recognize. So 803 is in the hole. We're going to see if we can make them platinum after they call. Let's boogie. Dan, what's happening?
Hey, what's up, Voch Steele? How you brothers doing, man?
What's good,
right.
player? We just in here trying to make it make sense.
It's been a while. If you remember, last time we talked was draft day, and I called in from intensive care.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, for sure. I remember all my calls. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay. I know you got a lot of them, but anyway,
I
have a
you.
question. In my opinion, I think we're one CD injury away from having the worst wide receiving core in the NFL.
It depends on what week that Lamb injury happens. If it happens in week 1, possibly. If it happens in week 13 or something, I wouldn't call it the worst, but we'll still be bad for sure.
I don't understand why the Cowboys don't do the draft game. I mean, you take 4th, 5th, 6th round picks, you trade them for players, you bring them in. If they don't work out, the next year they go, you're going to get comp picks. You're going to get the pick right back.
Well, they drafted Jalen Tolbert this year, and they drafted him in the same round that they drafted Gallup. So we go back to draft and develop, like Mike McCarthy says.
Well, you got young receiver like Preston Williams out of Miami. Can't get any play time now with all the receivers they got in there. You get like a 6th round pick for him. He's got NFL experience. He's huge. He's fast. He's got good hands. I mean, that's an easy pickup.
So my question for you is, right, and this is something that I want to challenge Cowboys fans to think. Do we want Preston Williams because he's something that we don't have already? Or is Preston Williams about what we got in our wide receiver room already? Because he's a 6th round pick that ain't playing, and he can't play over like top tier talent. You would say the same about a guy like Simeon Noah Brown. So what's different about Preston Williams than a guy like Semi Fajoku that's fast and can run? I mean, that's tall, long, and can run.
Well, he has NFL experience. I mean, actually in real game time. But I look at Tolbert. I don't think he has field awareness. Can't tap his toes. And you can watch it. He's got good hands, but I don't think he has field awareness at all. I've seen him do it 3 times now where he's caught the ball twice in the back of the end zone, getting 1 foot down, the other foot's not even close.
It's only been 2 weeks for Tolbert, so I ain't ready to, do that to him. He is going through his growing pains. That's fair, but I think it's a bit early to let's see what Turpin looks like with Tolbert. Let's see what Tolbert looks like with Dak, and then we can say whether he's not aware.
No, I agree. Yeah. My worst fear is that we went from having the number 1 rated offense, which is kind of on paper, we stacked up against a lot of bad teams, points, but I worry that our defense is going to carry us and our offense is going to slip. And one like Tyron Smith, 1 injury from him, and who are we going to put over? You don't want
sir.
Blocking for Dak.
Can you hear me?
But yeah, I hear you. I just, like I said,
hold on, Dan. Hold on, Dan. Let him get you. Let him get you real quick.
What I can't let you do is say, well, man, 1 more injury to Dak, 1 more injury to Tyron, 1 more injury to we could do 1 more injury to everybody, right? Like we don't want to play that game. Why are we even putting that in the air? Yeah. The receiver depth, is definitely suspect. We get that, right? But can we stop talking about injuries for a second? I just gotta, you know.
Oh Lord, if Malik Hooker get hurt, we stuck with Izzy.
I don't like this vibe, man. Hey man,
Brian
one more injury to Zach Martin.
If Brian Anger get hurt, we gonna make Dak punt the ball. God damn. Go ahead, Dan.
I get it. I just think we're deep in every position except offensive line and wide receiver.
That's pretty good. that's pretty good. Can't be deep everywhere.
Nah, I get it.
I would like to be better, but you know.
I'll have a good one. I'll let you get to other callers because I don't want to sit there and
ramble. Before, are you okay though? Are you out of ICU? Everything good with your buddy?
Oh, I'm good now, man. I'm healthy.
Awesome.
I'm clean. Back to work. It's all good, man. It was just a random thing, man.
You mean to hold on, time out, Dan. You mean to tell me you call Skywalker Steele show to give him updates, but then you call on my show and the first words out your mouth is, "Oh, Voch, it's been a while."
Is that what happened? I don't remember calling.
No, I didn't call Steele's show.
Yeah,
well, how he know you was in ICU?
Because he said it. He said it on the intro.
Oh well, shit. Well, Dan, we glad you recovered. I appreciate it. We love you, Dan. Appreciate.
Hey.
Man, go Cowboys.
Appreciate you, Dad.
Hill Voch.
Ignore me.
I'm just messing up.
I don't care if y'all was in the guy. All right, cool. My bad.
Damn, dog. I don't care.
I didn't know. Hey,
I
thought he might have called your show and told you. I even saw somebody in the chat box saying, like, when the fuck you say that?
You deep.
But
man.
I guess he said it. I just wasn't focused. My bad. I was focused on the intro. Let's get another one in here. We got JR up next, 803 on deck, chat box in the hole. Let's go. JR, what up?
What's
up?
God, what up, baby?
Oh, time out, JR. JR, stop. JR, stop talking about me and Skywalker still got synergy. Skywalker still wasn't on the screen, but Sky did the same thing I did. Sky, you my brother for real, Skywalker still. My bad, sir. Skywalker still is
That's why I had to mute myself because I was bugging when you did it. But go ahead, JR.
My bad. Skywalker still did it just like me. Go ahead, JR. What you got for the show, bro? How you doing today?
Hey. Man, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. I'm on dad duty. Somebody loaned me $2. I'm behind on daycare. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, hey, real quick. I gotta ask y'all.
Yes, sir.
Are we really deep at cornerback? You know, I'm sitting here thinking about it, and I'm like, man. He said, the previous call, he was like, yeah, the only place we're not deep at is wide receiver and O-line, and kicker, or we have to throw that in there. You know what I'm talking about? But at the same time, I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, okay, we got the best cornerback in the league, not arguably, not subjectively, all facts, Trevon Diggs, you know what I'm talking about? Anybody want to battle that, you can add my name, JR, let's go. Anyway, then we got Anthony Brown, who for the first half of last season was literally offensive coordinators target, you know what I'm saying, to that's a weakness in our defense. Then we got Jay Lou, who last year, man, we was trying to trade up out of here. From some analysts were trying to trade Jay Lou. Then after Jay
Don't
Lou,
listen to analysts.
So you know what time it is, you know what I'm saying? It's the Ron Bland time. And as hype as I get about the Ron Bland, I got to stop, like, hold on. DeRon Bland, a rookie, you know what I'm talking about? I think we got him in the 6th round or something like that.
Sure.
After DeRon Bland, we got Kelvin Joseph.
Sure.
We got
2nd round pick, talented. Yep.
We got my man
Mayshawn Wright, 3rd round pick.
I guess Israel. Yeah, Israel. I
Israel
guess
Mukuamu,
he's running both safety and corner.
Yep.
And then we got Nation, who can't find the ball to save his life. Right, you know what I'm talking about?
And they can't even touch the field. They can't even touch the field in the regular season because AB not giving it up. Jordan is not giving it up, and Diggs is Diggs. So I think this room is pretty deep. I think the cornerback room is pretty deep. We're about 7 deep right now.
I don't know. I don't know about if we 7 deep.
I don't know.
I know we got a for sure 4.
Okay.
But can we really? I mean, 2 games now.
That's a couple. Okay. So listen, JR. So listen. We got 4. Who's your 4th?
You said who? Oh, it broke up. Say it again.
Who's your 4th?
My You know me, I'm going all the way. Deron Bland. You know, with a healthy J. Lou, Deron Bland, my fault, baby. Hey, I take that one to the bank.
Ooh, we're still about to get you. Go ahead. Will.
No. I just want them to see my expressions here. I mean, how many teams can go 4 deep and you feel confident? I'm just curious. How many teams do you think that?
How many teams got 2 cornerbacks that they feel good about? Then 3, then 4. If Kelvin Joseph had to play, I feel fine. Like, I wouldn't feel great, but I feel fine if Kelvin had to play. If Israel had to play, if Deron Bland had to play, I feel okay. Wouldn't love it, but I feel okay. You got 3 dudes that's on the field of your nickel package to where them dudes can't even get on the field, let alone when J-Ron Curse is playing big nickel. Like, them dudes can't even play.
Oh, yeah.
So,
that's interesting. You don't feel good about that.
I see what you're saying.
You got an all-pro.
I'm just looking at when these lights is on, man, and I'm you know, I'm not liking what I'm seeing, but when you put it in that perspective, yeah, they can get out there. I agree with you with that. Yeah, they can get out there. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I guess when we do compare that with other teams, you know, it is a little deeper than some other teams. Some other teams will probably be willing to trade us something for 1 or 2 of them. You know what I'm saying? So I get what you're saying there. I get what you're saying there. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Now, when it comes to who we're gonna keep,
sure.
Man, we got to figure out. Okay, CJ Goodwin, Turpin.
Just gonna run down.
I said about to do the 53.
The first thing, I told you not to shoot nobody. The first thing you did when you came up here is shoot somebody.
My bad. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying?
Who else?
It's gonna be hard.
Who else, JR? Who else?
Hey, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you.
Right,
you know,
right.
And I know his wife. You know what I'm saying? We went to school. We went to PV together. But Carlos Watkins.
I don't say that, man.
If you listen to this,
don't say that shit on my show, man. What you Carlos Watkins?
Lowe's about to be in your DMs.
What you mean?
My bad, man. I'm sorry. I love you. You know what I'm saying? Hey, your wife is awesome. She's amazing, man. You know, she's a good person. But brother,
hold on. What did he say?
Man, I ain't gonna hold
it's
you,
getting
you know
tight.
You know.
I'm leaving. I'm leaving. Hey, yo, JR, we love you to pieces, dog. But if Carlos Watkins come looking for you, I ain't hear nothing.
Hey, dog,
Joseph, I ain't see nothing.
We wasn't with you at the start, bro.
I stand on it. I don't fear nobody. You know what I'm saying? You know why? Because I'm gonna call my big brothers 911 if anything come down. You know what I'm saying?
I got you, JR. Hey, man, good call.
I can't do that to another black man. I can't do that to another black man. I just take that L. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? I can't do that. You know. But anyway, hey, I love y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all hit that like button and subscribe. I gotta go pick these kids up. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all going to turn in for the 199 2000. You know what I'm talking about? I love you, Scott. I love you. Right, y'all hold it down, baby.
Appreciate you, JR.
Salute, bro.
Kevin Jones gonna be like, JR did it. All right, moving on.
This is wrong.
I asked how many teams got multiple corners that they feel good about. Alex said the Eagles, so I'm looking up them right now. James Bradbury, Darius Bradbury. All right, Brad smoking the shit out of Bradbury. Darius Slay, Avonte Maddox, who's also, I've seen him be smoked personally. Zach McPherson, I remember him in college. Kerry Vincent, Josiah Scott. All right. Josh Joe from Alabama. I remember Josh Joe. Josh Blackwell. All right, that's the Eagles corners. I just wanted to do my due diligence before I said something crazy to Alex and his squad there. All right. We got so I say he dry snitching.
Somebody said JR and Dontrell out here ruining relationships.
Not JR and Dontrell. Hey, yo, Carlos, I know where you was at with you know who. You feel me?
Yeah, right.
What?
I know where you. Your wife know who she was with in the library when we was in college.
Hey, look, Oscar said the Voch Lombardi show equals Inside Edition. That might be the Manscaped joke of the day. God damn, that's funny. One last call, then we're gonna go to the chat box. Let's see who 803 is. 803, what's up? Who this?
What's going on, man? This is Kai.
What up, Kai? What you got for the show?
Cobra Kai.
Cash Guy?
Good.
No, this ain't Cash Guy. This is
Nah, Cobra Kai.
Okay, I got you, Kai. What's up?
Kai Forbat?
Nah, my question today is with Tony Pollard, pretty much the running back room in general. It's essentially like what I see through the preseason. Rico could be a solid running back too. And I think that can help us in our wide receiver deficiency as moving Tony Pollard like to the slot. Like anytime he's on the field, 70% of the time at max, he's in the slot position. And we know what he can do in space when he has the ball in his hands. You know, he's shifty. You know, he can take a hit. You know, I know people want Turpin to be in that kind of position, but, you know, he's a small guy. I feel like, you know, Tony Pollard can handle that pretty well. And looking at his history, he was a wide receiver of the 2 to 3 years that he was at Memphis. He was primarily used as a wide receiver weapon. So he has that skill set, you know. And essentially, I know a lot of people worry about a wide receiver position. I just think we could probably use Tony Pollard as a Band-Aid until Michael Gallup or James Washington get back in the game.
Right. There was this point in Mike McCarthy's career, and I always reference this. There was a point where he was balancing 3 running backs. It was Ty Montgomery, who was the wide receiver running back guy. It was Lacey, who was your bigger dude, and it was James Starks, who was your change of pace pass catching guy. So yeah, you know, I can see a world where we use multiple running backs, but I've been in a world where Zeke kind of takes everything over and we don't even use Tony properly. So we can't even use 2 backs properly. I think we're going to be hard pressed to try to use 3 guys the right way this year. Now, they could prove me wrong. Have they finally learned their lesson and you know, they're going to actually get Tony involved in an actual real life level this year? If that's the case, I'd be very happy about it, but I'm going to need to see the evidence first, player. You will not get cheerful, optimistic Voch on this topic, because ever since Tony been in the league, I think he's been a dude that's capable, and we haven't seen the Cowboys utilize that.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, but I just feel like Tony Pollard shouldn't be used as RB2. Like as far as like giving Zeke the breather, like coming in whenever Zeke needs a break. I feel like Rico can take over that role, and that keeps Pollard out there as a receiver. That's just my idea of what I would do. And hopefully, I know Dak is playing in preseason 3. I believe I read an article saying he's playing, and I'm assuming some of the other starters, such as Tony Pollard, Schultz, and those guys would probably be out there. So if they can show me something like that,
I'm going to the start tomorrow.
Primarily being used as a wide receiving option, I'll be cool with that.
Did you read an article or did you read a random miscellaneous tweet somewhere?
I heard a headline, or I saw that Prescott was getting he was going to be put in game 3. Not sure how long. Or
is Tyron and Zach playing?
Tyron, Zach, and Zeke and them playing too. Lamb and Diggs playing too.
No, I just saw they said Dak, but that's what I was saying. I'm not sure that means like the other guys are playing as well, but I did see that Dak was going to get some time in there in game 3.
I don't know, big dog. Not going to be able to do it. But Kai, we just put you down platinum. Next time you call in, we'll know it's you. Appreciate you for your contribution, sir.
Appreciate you, Kai.
All right, man. Take care.
Hey, I agree with the premise of what Kai is saying. Right? Yeah, use Tony Pollard more to mitigate kind of the wide receiver deficiency behind Lamb. But I am 100% with you. What evidence do we have of him doing that? And with him, I mean Kellen. If this was Mike McDaniels, Shanahan, somebody else, sure. McVay, sure. Yeah. Zach Taylor. We just got to see it with him. I will say this to give some people some optimism. A lot of 20 personnel when we was at camp, wasn't it?
Sure, 100%.
We did see some of that. So hopefully that translates into the season, because I think we're going to need guys like him and Turpin to play those quasi roles until you figure out this wide receiver rotation and chemistry.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Chat box, this is your time to interact with the show. Phone lines are done with, but if for whatever reason you couldn't call into the show, you talked up anytime, minutes, anytime. You may be at work about to get fired. You in class not learning anything. You may be in Zimbabwe where it's 4:00 in the morning. You don't want to wake your house up. Whatever reason it is, tap in with the show right now, and we would love to hear from you. We'll do this for about we'll make the show an hour 30. We'll do about 5 to 7 minutes. Let's do this. We ain't doing nothing else. What y'all got, chat? What y'all got for the show? Appreciate everybody for tuning in, man. We constantly held 1,000 concurrent viewers on both channels, and that's fantastic. This time of year, August 22nd. That's fantastic. So we're gonna be doing shows weekly, man. Y'all always used to be like, Voch, can we get more shows during the week? That's what the volume's doing. The volume got me up in here Monday through Thursday. There may be some emergency Friday shows one day. You never know what's gonna happen. Stay tuned. But we giving y'all the work, so we appreciate y'all for tuning in. Sick of this.
You want to get to the super chats or?
I think I got all of them, dude.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
Aaron just said something.
Boy, y'all love to be like, hey, Voch, read my shit.
I had somebody come in the comments after the fact, but my bad, it's just me. I can't see everything.
Hey, Ron, I can see you. So whatever your comment was, just drop it back in the comment so I'll just read your comment. Even though I feel like I read your comment, though. I feel like I read your super chat. But just drop your whatever your question was, just drop back in there. We'll see it. Most people are saying the Eagles are better because of the offseason additions. All I see is people questioning Hurts and if he can pass.
There's an Eagle Cowboy thing going on right now between Diggs and Hurts and Eagles fans in the chat. So we're going to see a lot of that. Yeah.
Understood.
Oh, there you go.
Let's see. Hear ye, hear ye. Let's see. Open the gates. Open thy gates.
Let me
rough.
Let me hear what he said.
Let's see. Marcus Hardison says, at the volume, that's me and Will Steele. At the volume, knowledge comes, but wisdom lingers.
I gotta press the button.
Knowledge comes, but wisdom lingers. Peace to my brothers for applying what they've learned in order to provide top-notch commentary about our team. Prayers up, gents. Salute to the chat.
I wait till that beat
What
drop.
What a guy. Let's turn this shit up.
Come on, violence.
Goddamn right.
Hold on, the ad-libs.
The oh no is so clutch.
Oh, I love the oh no. I use the oh no in real life. Like I do.
Oh, me too, Will. Me too. I see like, oh no. That is a song by Francis and the Lights. It's called Betting on Us. If y'all want to know where oh no comes from, it's Francis and the Lights Betting on Us. See, and me and Will still have an odd taste in music. We're very similar. We didn't even know this till.
If y'all could have saw the drive we had, where was it coming from? Yard House?
It was coming from Yard House.
Yeah, I think it was Yard House. I'd be like, what?
We was listening to Lil Wayne, bro. How about this? We was coming from practice one day. Wayne was on, right? And we had to do a show at like 4:00. Let's just say it was like 3:55. And we on the way to the hotel. We right outside the hotel. Ransom comes on. Me and Skywalker still singing Ransom word for word. I passed the hotel just to make another block. I was going to be late for the show. Fuck it. I passed the hotel to make another block just so we can get to the end of Ransom.
Facts.
Wayne Park was just coming on. I'm not parking and cutting off the car when Wayne Park coming on Ransom.
No. Yeah.
Not going to be able to do it.
It's a great trip, man.
Fantastic trip. We'll talk about it one day on one of these platforms. We'll give them the behind the scenes. Let's see. Questions, chat. What y'all got? We almost didn't use up all y'all time, but
yeah, my bad, chat. Keith Floyd dropped 5 in the super chat. Biggest question is who makes the practice squad? Do we keep 7 wide receivers, 7 corners?
Bro, we don't even know who's gonna make the team.
Yeah.
We don't even know who's gonna make the team, so I can't tell you nothing about practice squad, bro. I have no clue. But when the time comes, we'll let you know. When we actually see who gets cut, we'll let you know who makes practice squad. Appreciate you, Keith. Aaron says I missed the Reddick sack school because I was at the Star with Sky and Shelley. Ooh, sir.
Here's the thing. Tomorrow I'm going to be at training camp at the Star. Dontrell, if you see me, just keep walking. That's all I'm saying. Just asking.
All right, cool. Okay, we straight. Okay, cool. We straight. Because I know Skywalker still want to smack shot some of y'all. Okay, cool. Hey, Ron, leave people name out your mouth, sir.
Just keep walking.
Out your mouth, sir.
Trail. No, Trail. Not Ron. Trail. A-Ron, cool. A-Ron said he saw me at the Star, so.
He saw. Okay, you was with your lady. He saw you
with my lady. Right.
He didn't see you and you
know who you was with, whoever that was.
You win.
Yeah.
I had to cut down the music and look at you and make sure it was cool. He cool. Choctaw Montana says Lil Wayne mid as fuck.
If you thought that Wayne was mid, I
appreciate you.
Jimmy 07018. What do you think about the linebacker situation, the upcoming cuts to 75? I'm not sure about the last part, but the linebacker situation, I feel better than I did, 2 months ago?
I think Luke got to go.
Really?
I think Luke Gifford may be one of the first ones to go.
We were laughing about this, like, what doesn't fit with Luke Gifford, LVE, in regards to athleticism, but he had a pretty decent game the other day. But
I think Devin Harper and Malik Jefferson is making it really hard for some of these guys.
Malik Jefferson's making it tough. Yeah.
Brillo played well, so but he's in that first conversation of guys. He ain't even in this cut conversation. And look, Story Jackson, who's a guy that probably will get cut, play well.
I think
he can run.
If you don't have an Anthony Barr, discussion's a little different.
For sure. AJ Brown is better than CD.
They're just trying to rile you up, brother.
Yeah, it's not gonna work today, man. You're not gonna get Hill Voch this late in the shit.
Got another super chat.
Hey Sheila. Let's see. Haley 94 aware. He's since removed Gregory from his name. Got in late for y'all. Got one in late for y'all. One thought on Turbo Turpin. Bones needs to emphasize no blocking in the back and no hold. That's fair. He needs to emphasize no blocking in the back or holding. Basically, penalties on punt return and kick return. Because we would hate for Turpin to break one off, get a touchdown, and it comes back because of penalties or whatever. So Haley 94 aware. Used to be Gregory. Fantastic observation. That's on Bones to make sure that our operation is clean because we don't need any kind of points being taken off the board. Go ahead, Will.
Does this make a guy like CJ Goodwin a little bit more valuable? Because
it's goddamn fair.
I don't know how many hold penalties he got.
That's goddamn fair enough, Will. Still, that is fair. Maybe one more question before we leave. Just talking about Wayne. Scott or Voch, with the versatility of these defensive players, why are they put in so much man and not change it up? Because they're good at man.
I was about to say, are we complaining?
Do what works. With that being said, I'm about to block Alex. With that being said, hey man, don't block Alex for real, because Joe will get him up out of there. Hey, look, fantastic day. We was able to get 1,000 live viewers. Hey, look, if we got 1,000 live viewers, where the likes at, Will? I can't even see it. Just can we get the likes up to make sure that we're at half the engagement, right? So if we got 1,000 live viewers, can we make sure that we get 500 likes on the videos, please? Because that is our virtual currency. It don't cost you a thing. I know a lot of people want to, send in actual monies, and we appreciate y'all for that. But the best currency that y'all can give us is just easy as hitting the like button, because the volume sees that, and the volume will super chat me and Will Steele personally at the end of the year. If them likes is up, and all this goes out to the algorithm and all that. So we appreciate y'all for tuning in. With that being said, y'all hit the sub button and all that. Follow me on all my social medias, Voch Lombardi, VOCHLOMBARDI. I'm getting active on my Instagram, so if y'all would like to see me, kick heavy bags and a picture with me and Jane Slater and Jeff and Skywalker Steele and stuff like that, I'm gonna add more personal life things to my Instagram. So be sure to tap in with that. And my non-football platform, in which me and Will Steele will tell a story one day when we're not exhausted. Will Steele, the best time to do that is the week where we don't have a game. That little week after the preseason, that'll be a great time to do it. yeah, we'll probably do something then. So tap in with us on my non-football platform, twitch.tv/Voch Lombardi. We're also gonna do some gaming out there, gaming on there. Whenever we get some gaming that's fun to game. Will Steele, tell the good people where to find you, sir.
On Twitter at Skywalker, Steele, and A to Z Sports Dallas. On YouTube, we talk Cowboys every morning about 8:30 ish. And seriously, y'all, we trying to get a studio, so the likes is real. They're very real. So if we can just get y'all to do that, it costs you nothing, man. It's our virtual currency. And when y'all love to see us in a stew, you know what I mean? What I'm saying.
Come on, man. Wait till I move to Dallas. With that being said, though, also too, I saw some people that was in here that they haven't been here before, and it was like, "Yo, great show. I just saw. Hey, appreciate y'all for being new here. Welcome.
Thank you.
Here's a war call just for you. We ain't doing nothing. No, hold on, goddamn it. Turn this shit up. Cut you off. There we go. Well, let me play back. There we go. There's a war call just for y'all. Thank you for coming here. We welcome you. Whether it be the Vice side or the Volume side, we welcome all new people, man. We're trying to have a fantastic year this year, so salute to y'all. With that being said, man, y'all hold it down for the Doski, Wilson, Peasky, Whiskey. We'll see y'all tomorrow. We'll have this conversation again. Volume.
Beats Planet.